Good afternoon, and welcome to our broadcast. Today, we delve into a particularly crucial and timely question facing our educational institutions. Should schools offer free mental health services not only to students, but also to their dedicated staff? In recent years, awareness surrounding mental well-being has grown significantly, yet so have the challenges within our schools. To explore this complex issue, we have two distinguished guests. Arguing in favor is Dr. Lena Hansen, an educational psychologist with extensive experience in youth mental health. Presenting arguments regarding the practicalities and potential difficulties is Mr. David Chen, a seasoned school principal managing the day-to-day realities of school administration. Our discussion will begin with opening statements from both guests, followed by a moderated discussion where they can respond to each other's points, and we will conclude with closing statements.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. The need for accessible mental health support within our schools has never been more apparent. We are witnessing concerning rates of anxiety, depression, and overwhelming stress among students, from primary school right through to secondary education. These aren't isolated incidents. They represent a significant public health concern impacting a generation. Furthermore, the demanding environment of schools can itself contribute to these pressures, not just for students, but profoundly for educators as well. Let's be clear. Mental health is not an optional extra in education. It is fundamental to it. A student struggling with anxiety cannot concentrate effectively. A child experiencing depression lacks the motivation to engage. Untreated mental health issues directly hinder learning, lower attendance rates, impact behavior, and ultimately limit academic achievement and future potential. Early identification and intervention, provided within the familiar and accessible school setting, can change trajectories. It allows us to address issues before they escalate into crises, fostering resilience and enabling students to truly benefit from their education. Schools are uniquely positioned to bridge the gap in mental health care access. Many families face significant barriers: the high cost of private therapy, lack of transportation, difficulty navigating complex healthcare systems, or insufficient awareness of available resources. Moreover, cultural stigma surrounding mental health can prevent families from seeking help externally. By integrating these services into the school environment and making them universally available, we normalize seeking support. It sends a powerful message: it's okay not to be okay, and help is readily available right here. This approach promotes equity, ensuring that support reaches vulnerable students who might otherwise fall through the cracks. Crucially, this support must extend to our educators and school staff. Teacher burnout is a critical issue, driven by immense workload, emotional demands, and often inadequate support systems. High stress levels among staff negatively impact their well-being, leading to increased turnover and absenteeism. When we support the mental health of our teachers and staff, we create a more positive, stable, and effective learning environment for everyone. Healthy, supported educators are better equipped to support their students, forming a virtuous cycle. Imagine a system where schools have on-site counselors available for immediate support, where regular workshops equip students and staff with coping strategies for stress and anxiety, and where clear pathways exist for referral to specialist services when needed. This isn't about turning schools into hospitals, but about integrating essential support structures that acknowledge the holistic needs of both students and staff, creating a truly supportive educational community.
Thank you, Ms. Reed and Dr. Hansen. Let me begin by stating unequivocally that the mental well-being of our students and staff is of paramount importance. We see the struggles Dr. Hansen described firsthand in our hallways and classrooms every day, and the need for effective support is undeniable. The question isn't whether we should support mental health, but how best to do so within the practical constraints and core mission of our schools. My primary concern lies with the immense financial implications. Implementing comprehensive free mental health services for potentially thousands of students and hundreds of staff members requires substantial, ongoing funding. Where will this money come from? Public schools, particularly in many districts, operate on extremely tight budgets, often facing difficult choices between essential programs. Would funding these new services mean cutting resources for arts education, sports programs, library resources, or even reducing teaching staff in core subjects? We must ask, is this model financially sustainable year after year? Or would it create an expectation we cannot consistently meet, leading to program instability and disappointment? Beyond the cost, there are significant logistical hurdles. Recruiting and retaining a sufficient number of qualified mental health professionals, licensed psychologists, clinical social workers, counselors, is a nationwide challenge, even for dedicated healthcare providers. Schools would be competing for this limited pool of professionals. We would need adequate, confidential spaces for therapy sessions, which are often lacking in older school buildings. There are also complexities around vetting, supervision, and integrating these professionals effectively into the school's culture and administrative structure. Can we realistically staff such services adequately across all schools, including those in rural or underserved areas? This proposal fundamentally expands the scope of a school's responsibility. Our primary mandate is education. While creating a supportive and safe environment is crucial to that mission, are schools truly equipped to function as comprehensive mental health care providers? Taking on this role involves significant complexities regarding legal liability, managing sensitive patient confidentiality within a school setting, balancing student privacy with reporting obligations, and potentially overburdening school administrators and existing staff whose expertise lies in pedagogy and school management, not clinical therapy. Are we asking schools to take on a role that is better suited to dedicated healthcare systems and community agencies? I believe a more effective and sustainable approach involves strengthening our partnerships with existing community, mental health agencies, and providers. Schools can excel at creating positive climates, training staff to identify students in distress, and developing robust systems for referring students and families to external experts. This leverages the expertise of both educators and mental health professionals, ensuring students and staff get appropriate care without placing an unsustainable burden on the school system itself. Let's focus on enhancing collaboration and referral pathways, rather than attempting to duplicate complex healthcare services internally.
Dr. Hansen, Mr. Chen raises some very practical points, particularly concerning the significant costs involved. How can schools, often facing budget shortfalls, realistically fund such extensive services?
It's crucial to reframe this not merely as a cost, but as a fundamental investment. The long-term costs of not addressing mental health in terms of academic failure, dropout rates, increased need for special education services, and later life consequences are far greater. We can explore blended funding models, leveraging federal and state grants specifically targeting school mental health, seeking partnerships with local health organizations, and strategically reprioritizing existing budgets. Arguing that mental health isn't, quote, core education is a false dichotomy. It's the bedrock upon which effective education is built. Investing here can even yield savings through reduced disciplinary issues and improved attendance.
While I appreciate the long-term perspective, Dr. Hansen, school budgets operate in the immediate reality of the fiscal year. Securing external grants is often competitive and unreliable for sustained funding. Reprioritization inevitably means something else gets cut. Smaller class sizes, technology upgrades, building maintenance. These are not trivial choices. Relying on inconsistent external funding or proposing potential tax increases to cover these services presents significant hurdles for school boards and communities. We need concrete, sustainable funding mechanisms, not just aspirations, before embarking on such a large-scale commitment.
Moving to the practicalities, Mr. Chen, you highlighted staffing challenges. Dr. Hansen, How could schools realistically find and integrate the necessary qualified professionals?
Exactly. It's not just about finding any counselor. It's about finding enough qualified licensed professionals experienced with diverse student populations and complex needs. Where do we house them? Who provides clinical supervision? How do we ensure seamless communication and collaboration with teachers and administrators without adding significantly to their workload? Integrating a clinical service within an educational structure requires careful planning and resources that many schools simply lack. It risks creating a two-tiered system where some schools manage better than others, exacerbating inequity.
Mr. Chen raises valid logistical points, but they aren't insurmountable. We can implement tiered models of support. Tier 1 involves universal prevention, teaching coping skills and emotional literacy to all students. Tier 2 provides targeted interventions by on-site counselors or social workers for students identified with specific needs. Tier 3 involves referrals for intensive, specialized care. We can explore telehealth options to reach underserved areas, partner with university psychology and social work programs for interns under supervision, and train teachers primarily for identification and referral, not for providing therapy themselves. It requires creative structuring, not necessarily replicating a full clinic in every school.
This brings us to the fundamental question of scope. Is providing these services, potentially extending them to staff as well, truly the school's role?
I firmly believe it represents a necessary evolution of the school's role in nurturing the whole child and, indeed, the whole school community. Students and staff spend a significant portion of their lives within the school walls. Making support accessible there dramatically lowers barriers and reduces the stigma that often prevents people from seeking help elsewhere. Supporting staff well-being isn't just to benefit. It's essential for maintaining a functional, positive, and effective educational environment. How can we expect stressed, unsupported teachers to adequately support struggling students? It's interconnected.
While the intention is admirable, this fundamentally blurs the lines between education and healthcare provision. Schools are not clinics. Taking on direct therapeutic responsibility opens up complex legal and liability issues, particularly around confidentiality and mandated reporting within a non-clinical setting. We risk overburdening school systems beyond their capacity and expertise. While we must be partners in supporting well-being, the primary responsibility for healthcare provision, including mental health care, should remain with families and dedicated community health systems. Our focus should be on excellent education, fostering a supportive climate, and facilitating access to external expert resources through strong referral networks. In conclusion, while we all share the goal of supporting the mental health of our students and staff, I must reiterate my serious concerns about asking schools to become the primary providers of free mental health services. The potential financial burden is immense and risks destabilizing already strained school budgets, forcing cuts to other vital educational programs. The logistical challenges of adequately staffing these services with qualified professionals across all schools are substantial, and the practicalities of space, supervision, and integration remain unresolved. Fundamentally, this proposal stretches the school's role far beyond its core educational mission and expertise, venturing into complex territory involving clinical responsibility, liability, and confidentiality that schools are ill-equipped to manage. Good intentions must be matched with practical realities. A poorly implemented, under-resourced program could do more harm than good. Therefore, I maintain that the most responsible and sustainable path forward is to strengthen our collaborative efforts with community mental health agencies. Let schools focus on what they do best, providing excellent education, fostering positive and supportive environments, and building effective systems to identify and refer individuals to the expert care available in the community. We must be realistic about the capacities and limitations of our school systems. Let us work together to enhance support, but let's do so in a way that leverages existing expertise and ensures long-term sustainability for the benefit of everyone in our school communities.
Thank you. Throughout this discussion, one truth remains central. Healthy minds are essential for effective learning and teaching. To ignore the significant mental health needs present within our school walls is not only a disservice to our students and staff, but is actively detrimental to the core educational mission Mr. Chen rightly champions. Providing accessible, integrated mental health support directly in schools offers profound benefits. It demonstrably improves student engagement and academic outcomes. It provides equitable access for vulnerable populations who face barriers elsewhere. It plays a crucial role in reducing the pervasive stigma surrounding mental health, encouraging help-seeking behavior. And critically, it offers vital support to our educators, fostering a healthier, more sustainable teaching profession. Yes, there are challenges: financial, logistical, structural, but these are obstacles to be overcome, not reasons for inaction. Through innovative funding strategies, creative staffing models like tiered support and telehealth, strategic partnerships, and a collective commitment, we can build these systems. This must be viewed as an essential investment in our human capital, not an optional luxury. Therefore, I urge policymakers, school districts, and communities to embrace this responsibility. Let us move beyond debating, "Chef, we should support mental health in schools," and begin the crucial work of planning how to make integrated, accessible mental health services a standard, expected component of modern education for both students and staff. Our collective future well-being depends on it.
Thank you, Dr. Hansen and Mr. Chen, for your insightful perspectives and thoughtful engagement on this critical issue. You've clearly articulated the central tension: the compelling, urgent need for accessible mental health support within our educational settings, weighed against the significant practical, financial, and logistical hurdles involved in making comprehensive services a reality within schools. We hope this discussion has provided valuable insights for our